A gas company?
Well, it is. That's true of every company that serves the consumer. What do you tell your readers? Don't you say your magazine?
Well, I kind of lit your pilot light, didn't I? Seriously, Miss Perkins, it's been said that utility companies are big and personal, protected from the nitty-gritty of reality by thick marble walls.
I don't see any marble around here.
I'd be more concerned with profits than with people.
You're not exactly subtle, are you?
Question. When are you going to start treating the customer like a person instead of just a number?
But the gas company is people, too. Some very nice people. I'd like you to meet a few of them. In fact...
You're not answering my question. I told you that you were going to have to face it. Specifically, just what is this group of nice people doing for the consumer? What?
Has Mr. Fleming arrived? He was meeting us here.
There he is now. Hi, Barbara.
Good morning. This is Mr. Fleming of our customer service department.
Hi, Miss Fleming. How are you?
I'm glad to meet you.
As I mentioned, Mr. Palmer is writing an article on the natural gas industry. He'd like to know what we're doing to individualize service for the customer.
Well, I can't speak for the industry because gas companies are like, well, clothes. They come in all sizes and styles.
Touché.
For example, do you have any idea how many customers we serve?
That wasn't my question.
I'm sorry. So I won't mention that some companies serve a few thousand and others serve hundreds of thousands.
There, you see, like I said, numbers. You're more interested in numbers than people. And they prove it. Computers. Computerized service. Whatever happened to good old personal contact?
I'm glad you brought that up, Mr. Palmer, because one personal contact the computer helps us with is coordinating and scheduling of our radio dispatch trucks. It helps us to get to more homes faster. Here's another. Customer profile. It details what kind of equipment the customer uses, his average gas use during each season, and the kind of service he's needed, and how often, all to enable us to serve him better. Now, our telephone service representatives use this data all the time. When people call in, we have an automatic distributor instead of the usual central switchboard. It speeds things up, gives people a direct line to their representatives.
Miss Travers speaking. Mr. Bayless? Just a moment, sir. Let me get your file.
With the computer system, we can get a profile immediately. It's much faster than looking it up in a book, and you don't have to keep the customer waiting.
All right, Mr. Bayless. Now, just how can we help you?
Sure, computers are efficient, and you use names, Mrs. Travers, Mr. Bayless, but you call that contact?
Oh, name to name.
Well, that's all very good, but let's see more. Where's the human factor, face to face? You do everything name to name?
I think we can manage face-to-face, too, in home services. I'll take you there tomorrow.
Tomorrow? What's the matter with today?
Because if you really want to find out about home services, it takes a lot of time.
It'd be very attractive.
What would?
Your hair. You could let it down a little.
What does it do for you? I mean...
All right. I understand. I didn't mean to get personal. So how about this, Miss Perkins? A lot of our readers are concerned about clean air and water. And everyone knows the energy business is a major polluter of our atmosphere, our lakes, and streams. The question is, what are you doing to protect the environment?
I like that question much better. Let's see if Mr. Lawson is available to help answer it.
All right. Let's follow natural gas from the earth to the consumer's home. That's where it starts, Mr. Palmer. In the field. Natural gas out of the earth. But once the well is drilled and the gas comes in, we restore the land to its original beauty. And all we have left is what we call a Christmas tree. There's a transmission line under there, would you believe it? Unseen except for a small marker to identify its location. Now, beneath that lawn, a pipe was put in just a week before this picture was taken. Not even a scar showing.
All this is very pretty, Mr. Lawson. But I'm not talking about beautification. I'm concerned about pollution, water pollution, air pollution. Don't tell me you don't have any problems.
Sure, of course, but like it says there, let's face it, who doesn't have problems? But we're trying to solve them.
What about water pollution? You do have a leak underwater once in a while, don't you?
Yes, but when natural gas springs a leak underwater, it bubbles to the surface and dissipates in the air. No harmful effects to the water, or the beach area, or wildlife. Because remember, natural gas is, as the name implies, natural.
Yes, I know, but what about when it's used, after it reaches the customer? It does burn into the atmosphere, doesn't it?
Now you're talking about air pollution. Why don't you step over here a minute? See, any burning process gives off pollutants. But of the major fuels, natural gas is the most pollution-free. Here, let me show you. Now, even a candle will give off pollutants. See the smoke? But when we burn natural gas, look at the difference. Just clear blue. You might also be interested to learn that natural gas can be used to burn off pollutants caused by the combustion of other fuels. Look here. So you see, Mr. Palmer, natural gas is compatible with a world that must be concerned with nature. Because, let me repeat, natural gas is...
I know. As the name implies,
reserves are there, under the ground, under the sea. And the uses for a dependable and clean-burning energy for a clean nation are growing all the time.
Like?
Like heating, air conditioning, climate-controlling homes. All this creates a demand for more natural gas.
So what's being done about it?
Well, if our industry is to expand and meet the challenge of the future, the people who produce natural gas must be given the incentive to drill more wells, to explore, and the right to expect a reasonable return on what is a costly and risky investment. That's what every business has to have.
Seems fair enough. One more question. My question is, what are you doing tonight? Maybe we could have dinner or taking a flick or something.
No, I'm sorry. I already have a date. Besides, tomorrow we're going to cover 2 consumer programs that been in existence long before the word consumerism was born. So get some sleep. You've got a big day ahead.
Okay, but as long as we're both going uptown, we might as well just go... Out.
Out.
See you tomorrow, Mr. Palmer. Bye. No, Mr. Williams, I don't think I need any help with him. His questions are pretty sharp, but... well, it's the way he dresses. He's so far out. And he's pushy, like already asking me out to dinner. No, there's nothing wrong with that. But, no, I didn't. I took 2 aspirin and went straight to bed. Yes, he should be here any minute. All right, Mr. Williams. Goodbye.
Just aspirin for dinner?
Do you always arrive unannounced?
Well, that's me, Barb, the casual type.
Miss Perkins, if you don't mind.
Oh, to me, you'll always be Barb.
I don't know what it is about you that's so...
So exasperating.
Yes. But then I suppose it's the technique you use in asking your questions.
Well, you've got to admit it works.
Well... then let me ask you one. What's the most frequent question you get from your readers?
About the gas industry? Well, that's easy. The most common complaints are about small things.
Like a pilot light going off.
Uh-huh. You've been reading our mail, Barb. I'm sorry, Miss Perkins. Another typical question might be, why don't gas companies find out what the consumer wants in a product before making it? I know. Utilities don't manufacture the actual appliances. But you still have a responsibility, right?
We think so. And we're trying to face up to it by helping the consumer. Here's one way. The major problems that our servicemen have run into in the past few years are in this report, which is used by the appliance manufacturers, because they're vitally concerned, too. And then there's our blue star seal.
Blue? I thought people won gold ones, like for brushing your teeth or being a good girl.
You mean like going to a flick with you?
Yes.
Fine, because I was just about ready to show you one.
Huh?
All right, Paul.
The American Gas Association established an appliance testing and certification program in 1925 to guide consumers to safer, more dependable appliances. Its first laboratory was housed in these modest quarters in Cleveland, Ohio. Here, gas appliances, which at that time were used mostly for cooking and heating water, were subjected to rigorous tests. Today, the American Gas Association maintains this large facility in handsome and spacious surroundings. This testing and research laboratory, now one of 2 such association facilities, uses modern, sophisticated equipment in its certification tests. All the power for this complex operation is provided by a total energy system using natural gas. It is the source for all the air conditioning and heating. And is also used to generate the electricity needed throughout the laboratory. Any manufacturer of a gas appliance or accessory may submit a sample to the laboratory. Its design is then tested for conformity to standards accepted by the American National Standards Institute. A prototype may be put through more than 100 tests